What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Before I get into this video, I just wanted to announce a couple things. So first of all, I'm going to be announcing a lot of information in this video about, some really cool stuff about how I'm running my agency, how I'm running the education business, everything like that. And I just wanted to talk about, I want to give you an option really of how you can get more help. So if you need anything, you can actually DM me on Instagram. I'm pretty active over there. It's a great place to reach me. It's at Trey Cockrum. And then also our Facebook group is a great resource as well. So you can see that, the link's in the description. So depending on which platform you're more active on, Instagram or Facebook, there's two great places to get some more help and more resources. Because this video is just me talking, right? There's only so much I can do for you with just talking. And so I want you to have more resources and more places you can go to get help and connect with people and stuff like that, or even connect with me on Instagram, okay? Another thing is if you're ready to scale your agency and start seeing days like what I'm talking about here in this video and start really, doing it the right way, schedule a call. I've got some opened slots just now. Actually, we opened up a few more slots to speak with me on behalf of the Six-Figure Marketing Consultant Program. So if that interests you, go ahead and click link down below. And honestly, the types of people that I'm looking for are people with a reasonable amount of revenue already established, and they're just ready to rocket it up to the moon, okay? And that's typically who I'm looking for, but also we've helped tons of beginners start and grow. I mean, for example, Johnny Vo is a guy who started at zero, and now he's at like 30 grand a month. So you don't have to have established revenue, but it does make, our job a lot easier. So that being said, schedule a call or join the Facebook group and message me on Instagram. Just some options for you to get more help. And it'll actually be me on the call, by the way. So I'm literally taking these calls. So go ahead and schedule down below, and hopefully I'm speaking with you soon. Anyway, let's get into the video. How I had my first $20,000 day. I break it down entirely. It's gonna be a really good video. How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another video. And this one, I just wanted to break down one of the best days I've had so far running my business. It was like $20,000 total collected in a 24-hour period. It was pretty sweet. And I just want to break down what exactly happened, what I did, just total, complete transparency and a complete breakdown of the day. So the day in terms of actual revenue that day was a $16.3 thousand day. And a lot of those payments were split payments, and the final payments will come 2 weeks from now-ish, kind of split. So in general, a $20,000 day, just not that specific day, right? So that's how I count my business. That's how you should count your business too. It's not just what you make that day, it's what's collected in total, and that allows you to be a lot more proficient with actually knowing your numbers. Like, it's not just, I'm making $8,000 a month right now from agency clients. If you have them on a retainer and you've got them contracted into a year, then really, if you have $8,000 worth of retainers and they're contracted into a year, you've basically written yourself a check for 8 times 12, whatever that is, right? So that's how you should really view your business, and it's a really healthy way to view your business, and it's good to think in terms of that trajectory. So, but let's get into it. So I just want to talk about what happened on this day. So the first big thing that happened on this day was an agency client paid 10 grand. It's an upfront payment. It's just a one-off thing. And I'm building this client out a basic funnel to get them more sales calls on their calendar for their high-ticket coaching offer, which is my primary niche. So I help people who have like a high-ticket coaching offer. Right now, this is what we do, and it may change, and it kind of evolves. And I talk a lot about this in the program and in other videos, where you really just have to be a scientist and let your business evolve and not have this weird idea of what it's supposed to be or what it's not supposed to be. Otherwise, you'll really cap yourself. So yeah, what I did for this person is I'm just building them a basic sales funnel where people can watch a presentation and there's a call to action at the end to book a call. And then I'm going to give them some resources on how they can handle those sales calls so that they can actually properly scale their coaching offer, because right now they're relying primarily on organic. I found this person through a Facebook group, which is one of the methods that I teach. Within 3 days, they'd paid me 10 grand. Got them on a meeting. It was like an hour-long meeting. I recorded the meeting and actually put it into the course as a resource for the students to watch. So that was the first thing. It was a $10,000 upfront payment from a agency client, okay? And we're on track now this month to do about $60,000 across everything, education included. So the rest of the payments were education or education-like related in some capacity. Right now, the main focus is the online program, which we are scaling through a couple different means: paid ads, YouTube, Facebook groups, Instagram, just playing with a bunch of different angles, and me and the people that I work with and that sort of consult me and help me make this work, they're helping me really define a very clear method of scaling the education business, because it's a little spread out right now. But yeah, that day I actually got another client from again a Facebook group using organic methods that I've just gotten really good at, and it's the same ones that I teach in the program and everything. They paid $3,500 up front for the program, plus a handful of one-on-one with me. And what I'm going to do for them is basically I think they're at like 6 figures with their agency, and they're wanting to scale it basically. And I don't always offer one-on-one, but this person was someone that I think I could really help, so I decided to offer one-on-one. So that brings us to $10,350, and then the final $3,000 was recurring payments from other people who are in educational programs of mine. So primarily the 6-figure marketing consultant, but then there's also some other things that I'll offer to people if they're not right where I need them to be for the SFMC program. So that's the day. That's the breakdown of it. So it was a $16.3 thousand day. And then the guy who paid $3,500 is going to pay another set of $3,500 at some point. And then I think one of the sales that I made that day for the 6-figure marketing consultant was a split payment. So that brings us just over $20,000 collected. So that's the breakdown of the day, right? Really, it's a record day. So I've never had a day that big before. And it was super exciting when it happened. And I was going to record a video the day after, but I actually wanted to sit down and think about, what I wanted to say and how I wanted to say it and what I wanted to really teach from this experience. Because, $20,000 in a day, I remember wanting to have $20,000 months. And I thought by the time I'd have $20,000 months that, things would be totally different. But really, it's just another day. It's just, you just keep going. So a couple things, I want to say a couple things. I want to say what got me there, my mindsets, the offers, how I developed the offers, how I got really good on the phone, how I built this thing up, the education and the agency side, because I learn a lot from both, right? So when something works on the education side in terms of attracting people, I see if it works on the agency side. And if it works on the agency side, I see if it works on the education side. So it's a lot of the same systems, but it's just there's different, we're offering different things to different people. So it's a lot of the same attraction systems, just different offers and different types of people with different types of problems, right? So yeah, I want to talk about what got me to a point where, we're having these sorts of days, how I'm on track to do $60,000 a month this month, everything included, and agency being probably 40% of that, 50% of that. It's split pretty well down the middle. Yeah, so let's just talk. So a couple things that allowed me to do this. So first of all, when you're running any sort of a business, man, you have to have a really clearly defined offer for a clear type of person. And if you have this idea that you can do anything and everything, you're going to do nothing, and you're going to do everything, but you're not going to do it well. So you might as well be doing nothing. So you really just want to have your niche. You want to know who you help, how you help them in a very clearly defined, scalable way, right? So one of the things that I really talk about with a lot of people that, are in the programs that we have, or even some of the agency clients that I bring on that we need to fix some things about their business before I can really scale them up is exactly that. We need to narrow in your offer, get you to a point where we've got one offer for one type of person so we can scale it. So, for the SFMC program, 6-figure marketing consultant program, for example, that program I know is for 2 types of people. 1, a total beginner agency owner who's just wanting to get their first couple clients, and 2, it works also as well for people who have an established agency, but it's taken them a really long time to get there, and they want better systems. They want to scale faster, they want to build a team better, they want to have better methods of getting clients coming to them instead of, doing all the outreach themselves and wasting tons of time doing that, right? So I know those are the sort of avatars that I've got there. With the agency, I know the avatars that I tend to attract as well. It's typically high-ticket coaches or high-ticket course sellers in some cases, who have a nice package or a nice program or mastermind or something like that. It's infopreneurs in general, people who sell information or get results for people by any means, just not with a done-for-you service, more of a done-with-you or do-it-yourself, like a course or coaching or a mastermind or something like that. And they typically tend to already have some experience. They typically tend to already sort of know the powers of marketing, and I don't have to sell them on that. They've been shopping around for a while. And they just have never had somebody really speak to what they actually want, and they've never had somebody be really attentive to what it is that their needs are as a sort of a solopreneur, somebody who's running their business themselves. or as somebody with a small, lean team, they've never had somebody sit down and say, hey, what exactly are your goals? Why do you want to scale this thing? So, one of my sales tactics really is just to dig in, like what's actually making you want to do this? Because if I can relate their ultimate result and what they really want, ultimately on an emotional level, not just business, I assume they want more money. But if I can relate why they want more money back to our service, and if I can relate, sorry, my nose is really itchy. If you can see, it's getting kind of red. I don't know why it's so itchy. But if I can relate all these things back to our service and our programs and our offers, then it's a really easy sale, because at that point, it's not about what's the price tag of the program or what's the price tag of, like the service I'm doing. It's really more about what's the price tag of, the result that you'd want to get. Like how willing are you, like how much would it cost for you to, for example, for this person that we sold the $10,000 package to, and this is something you should practice in your agency, guys. This is something you should practice in every single business you run. It's not what's included, it's what the result is. So how badly do you want to go from 30 grand a month to 90 grand a month, which is the number she gave me, right? I was like, how badly do you want to do that? And they were like, freaking bad. I'm like, sweet. So let's, my goal is that we do that. We fill your calendar with sales calls, and that's what I want to do for you. And so, I just showed them in a very, very sort of high level way how it works and got them in, right? I just said, here's sort of the funnel, what it looks like. Here's what you can expect. Here's generally the work I'm going to do. I didn't spend any more than like 2 minutes, probably not even a minute on exactly what I do. And at one point on the call, they say, hey, so what exactly are you going to do? So how exactly does this work? And I relate it back to the goal they gave me. They said they wanted to build a business that they could eventually sell. They wanted to sell 4 packages a month of $30,000. Right now they're selling about 1 a month. And they just want to scale that, use the testimonials they're collecting and use the results they're getting to sort of, attract more clients, which is exactly what I can help them do. So yeah, you just got to know who your people are, know who you can help, and build systems to attract them. And what happens is it's this feedback loop. It just gets easier and easier and easier and easier to sell, to attract clients, to get confident on the phone, to get results for these people. It just gets easier and easier. And you want to build businesses that have that flywheel effect. Businesses that when you have a success, the next success comes easier. So that's really what I've intentionally done here. I've made a business that as I succeed, success becomes easier, and then success becomes easier. It's easier and easier and easier and easier. I'm not tackling a new project every day. I'm doing the same thing over and over again, and leveraging their success that I get doing that thing and pouring it back into the front. Whether it's capital or it's reputation or it's leverage, it's authority, it's the results I've gotten for myself or for students or for clients or whatever. It's that ability to really get that flywheel going. So it's like one of Amazon's secrets as well is the concept of a flywheel. It's this concept that it gets easier and easier and better as it goes. And you notice a lot of these big education companies, like these big education businesses, people who sell like a course or something, it's easier and easier to sell that course as more and more people are in it, because more and more people get results and there's more testimonials to use and you can sell that. Same with running an agency. The more agency clients you have, the more testimonials you've gotten, the more results you've gotten, the harder you've worked on getting better at sales, the easier it gets. So it's that 0 to 1 jump is the hardest jump. Honestly, I'm working less hard now than I did when I was starting, because now I have leverage and I have a system, right? So you really want to understand that too. Like as you scale, it gets easier, not harder. The problems you run into are different types of problems. You run into new sorts of problems that you didn't know how to solve before, like things like, for example, team leadership. Another thing is like in general at scale reputation management. You'd be surprised how easy it is when you have a lot of eyes or just even a lot of prospects in the pipeline or just whatever, for you to say something that people take the wrong way and then that hurts your business. Even though I'm a pretty upfront guy. And there's other things like that. There's things like, there's all kinds of things that you run into that you don't realize you need to learn how to do. So as long as you are willing to learn and you're humble enough to recognize where you aren't the best, and then you're consistently pouring into one project for a long time, and specifically in my eyes, the best business you can start is running an agency, right? Because then if you do as well, a big opportunity from running an agency is to eventually help other people succeed in that niche. I think the education side is really good too. So if you're running an agency, you can have a done for you service, but also have like a program that helps businesses do it themselves. It's a lot more scalable. It's a great place to start. Start with a done for you marketing service of any kind, and it will open up so many doors for you. A lot of our students have gone on to see $80,000 months because they scale, just a done-for-you marketing service. So yeah, that's it. I mean, that's how I had my $20,000 day. It's pretty sweet. It's pretty cool. I thought about getting like another watch, but I decided just to keep the money in the business for now. I'm just gonna pile up cash and use it. At some point, I'm planning on really going hard on paid for the education side, actually. And then I'll leverage that and the results we get there to then attract more clients. And just, it's that flywheel. It just gets easier and easier, right? So that's how you see these people, doing crazy days, like having, I saw recently somebody did like $80,000 in 72 hours. Is pretty cool. I saw somebody did like people are selling like $100,000 packages in Facebook groups that I'm in and stuff. And it's not because they got lucky. It's not because they have anything that you don't have. It's because they have allowed the compound effect to work for them. They've allowed the flywheel effect to work for them. Success breeds success. Failure breeds failure. And not that failure slows down success. What's interesting is that failure is, if you view it right and you use it right, it is a success that leads to another success. So it's kind of about perception too. But yeah, I mean, that's how I did it. So it's really simple. Like I can't overstate how simple it is. Like, it is not that complex. I think a lot of people see it and they imagine being there, and they can't really imagine what it's like to be, having a $20,000 day, or a $16,300 day for being technical, but 20,000 collected. And they're like, wow, holy frick. Like, I can't even imagine making that money in like, a month or 2 months or 3 months, nonetheless a day. And I can't tell you how easy it is. Like, once you have a good offer and you've developed good attraction systems and you've proven that what you do for people actually helps them and helps them grow their business, then it's just a result of that work that you put in. It is really not anything special. So I did celebrate that day, but I also knew, that like I made that day with the 2 years that I've been working on this since, right? So it's really not like that day was actually special. So yeah, I just wanted to break down that day, what all it was, what the clients were, some of the mindsets that have allowed me to move forward, and just be very honest, because I'm coming down from a record month right now. So, we're again, $50,000 to $60,000 a month at this point, and we grew there from like 40 grand last month, and then Corona hit at one point, so I was actually down a little bit. So it's cool to be able to recover. And really, honestly, Corona didn't actually affect anything. It's just that I got scared and then I backed off. And I learned the hard way, like I shouldn't back off. Like I shouldn't, even with Corona, I should just still play the offensive, right? Never play defensive. Defensive doesn't work. Play offensive. It's the only game worth playing. Offensive is the only game worth playing. So yeah, that's it, you guys. Hopefully this video was valuable to you. I just wanted to speak just very candidly about like a record day. Hopefully we have more record days soon. I know I will have more record days. I know that I'll have my first $100,000 day at some point in the next, 2-3 years. It's just a matter of time, it's just, a matter of letting the flywheel do its thing, getting results for these people, building reputation, building better client attraction machines, and just letting that loop work, right? It's, again, the 0 to 1 is harder. It's honestly, it was harder to get my first client than it was to scale from $10,000 a month to like 60. Because once you have proof of concept and you have something that works, it's just a matter of removing bottlenecks and pushing it forward. It's like once you know what works, just do it more, basically. And it sounds very simple and it sounds very like there's no way it works that well, but really, truly it does. Once you have something that works, get out of your own way and push it. So yeah, thanks for watching, you guys. Hopefully this video was valuable to you. This is a breakdown of my $20,000 day.